Hey everybody, Adam with FANUC. I want to show you a couple tricks on how to jog your CRX that you might not have known existed. Some people already know that there's a safety enable switch, a dead man on the back of this that I can click and take control of the robot, and that's great, fine and dandy. I also have a hands-free teaching where I can put it into a teach mode and teach without getting your carpal tunnel on the dead man there. But I think what some people forget is that we have different methods of how the robot reacts to your touch. So what you're seeing right now, we call this free mode. And on the tablet, there's 4 different modes. There's free, translate, rotate, and custom. So we're going to talk about those. Free mode is what it sounds like. Anywhere I grab on this robot, it's going to move and react how I'm applying a pressure. I can move any joint from any location. But that can get a little messy. Like, for example, if I want to push on this tool, I'm going to get a reaction like that. It's going to roll away from me in that degree of freedom. Well, I didn't want that. I wanted to keep my tool straight, and that becomes a problem. That's where we go into translate mode. As soon as I'm in translate mode, this robot will lock the orientation where you last had it. And now when I put an input here, the robot follows that exact line. So now I can put that tool wherever I want it. In fact, if I go back to free and I put this guy, let's say I'm on an angle, maybe I'm doing a welding or torch or dispense, and now I translate, it will maintain that angle as I jog it. Well, if we can maintain the angle, that means we should be able to manipulate the angle. That's where rotate comes in. With rotate mode, now pressing here does nothing. You can see me shaking the whole robot. Pressing here does nothing. Up does nothing. Down does nothing. Well, what's it do? It dances around this point in space. So I can move this robot body around that point and tilt, yaw, pitch, and even roll and warble around a fixed position. So I can tell that robot wherever that position is, depending on my tool, what do I have. Super easy to define that tip. Well, the last one, of course, is custom. I might have an application where maybe I'm machine tending and I got to make sure I get straight in and out of the vise or the chuck or something along those lines. I have toggles on here that you may or may not see from that distance, but there's toggles for X, Y, Z, yaw, pitch, and roll. So if I say only enable the Z axis, well, X does nothing, Y does nothing. Grab the body, try and rotate it. Rotate does nothing, but I can go in Z. I can go straight down in Z, straight up in Z. And so I can lock and unlock these axes. And what's cool too is if you are worried about being perfect, because we're humans and we're not perfect, let's say I need to pick up a part nice and straight. Clearly this is not straight. I'll make it definitely not straight. I can tell it, hey robot, I want you to align yourself with the Z axis, and it'll snap itself into vertical, and then I go ahead and just lock that in, and now I have a perfectly vertical robot and can translate around. So you can make this robot behave and act however you want to jog it. Makes teaching really fast, really easy, perfect for those high mix, low volume CRX FANUC. Thanks guys.